Mass beachings, strandings, and death. Marine mammals have been the target of human error for many years. Within the last year, there have been unusually high numbers of whales, dolphins, and seals dying. But what is the cause?
They're an animal that possesses great spiritual power, not to be meddled with.
We stored these whales in what we call a module, which was 20 feet across and 30 feet deep, and the lights were all turned out.
Probably led to what I think is a psychosis.
Well, anything I would answer as far as why we've had so many strandings this year would be speculation. What we do know is that starting in January, we saw an influx in California sea lion pups who are coming in malnourished and dehydrated.
Usually we get animals that are been cut with a machete from the fishermen, and lately we've been getting a lot of animals that are shot. In the last week we've had 2 that came in, one's dead, and the other one is dying now as we speak. Squid fishermen are shooting them off of Malibu. So most of these animals that came in the epidemic we had, February, March, and April, 500 and some animals were due to no food, no fish out there.
Since their main challenge was nutritional, we can speculate that the issues related to their food source or the food distribution, which could indicate a larger environmental issue. We've been working with National Marine Fisheries Service and the other facilities in the stranding network to collect data, to take samples, to make observations in the environment, to see if we can narrow down what the possible causes for this event were. We probably won't know until we see more data, but our speculation is that it's related to the environmental conditions. Well, these animals come in for a variety of reasons. Most common are natural ailments, things like bacterial and viral infections, parasitism. We do see a good number of natural injuries from things like predators and other seals and sea lions. About 10 to 15% of our cases every year come in for issues related to human activity. Those can range from fishery interactions like gill nets, monofilament line, or fishing hooks, to pollution, such as plastic bags and ocean debris, to intentional injuries from things like gunshots. Those are probably of the greatest concern to us because they're issues that can be easily preventable and addressed with fisheries balance and population management. But since these are sentinel species, in other words, what we see in these animals can be an indicator of overall ocean health. We're also very attuned to what disease processes or wider spread issues we're seeing.
Dead sea otters arrived in a Santa Cruz lab with bright yellow eyes and gums, and their livers were destroyed. The otters had been poisoned by a toxin called microcystin. These toxins can appear when human sewage and fertilizers run into bodies of water. 1% of male killer whales in the wild have a collapsed dorsal fin. 100% suffer from that in captivity. According to the National Oceanic Atmospheric Association, under the Marine Mammal Protection Act of 1972, an unusual mortality event masked from early July 2013 through the present. One dolphin tested positive for morbillivirus, which is a measles-like disease and infection. Marine biologists Ken Balcom and Lori Marino stated in the film Blackfish that dolphins and whales have emotional lives, more complex than humans, and during strandings, they stick together.
We released 4 animals that got well, that came in, that were emaciated and starving, actually. Not much food out here with what happened with the fish population. The weather got Well, the surface temperature got a little warm and the fish dove down, so it was inaccessible to a lot of these young seals that were a year and 2 months old, 14 months.
Pollution and other environmental stresses may be changing the waters and shores. Rivers and oceans tend to have high levels of mercury poisoning due to vehicle and boat exhausts. With their families being torn apart with pollution and human harm, it is clear to see why these marine animals try to escape the waters they were born. These animals are losing nutrients because of lack of food in the water, which also causes dehydration. They are being shot dead by fishermen and captured for entertainment in marine parks. Oceans have become so polluted that these animals are acquiring deadly diseases and infections. But only we can stop this from happening.
The educational opportunities that we offer to student and non-student groups offer us the chance to not only show the work that we do here, but talk about these animals and their place in the environment. So by educating people to environmental issues that face these animals, we can better inform them as to the role in the ecosystem that they play and how it relates to humans. I actually started off as a volunteer back in 1995. I became interested in the ocean environment because at the time I did a lot of scuba diving, and I would see these animals and other animals in their natural environment. And when I found out that there were facilities like this one that could allow me to work with these animals, do my best to treat and rehabilitate them and release them back into that natural environment, I thought that that was a great way to give back to an ecosystem that had given me a lot of enjoyment.
To get involved, visit SaveOurMarineLife.org or OneWorldOneOcean.com to see how you can help protect whales, dolphins, seals, and other marine life.